What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
In a brilliant display of coordination, the IIB men instantly surrounded Testarossa, using a chain made of monster hair to block her movement on three sides. Unbeknownst to Gaster, this move was the Imperial suppression stance. It was the most advanced killing formation taught in the Empire, allowing a team of 3 people to defeat higher-level monsters, even archdemons. The secret was in this chain, woven with the hair of monsters and forged from holy silver, a legend-class treasure. These definitely weren't rank-and-file soldiers carrying it, and in fact, the members of this trio were among the greatest fighters in the Empire, Knights of the Imperial Guardians, in disguise. Davis, ranked 11th. Balt, ranked 38th. Gordon, ranked 64th. When running an infiltration mission, Imperial Knights preferred to work in groups of 3. The Imperial Guardians had their own numerical pecking order, and it was customary for the smallest number to be their leader. In terms of strength, the gap between the 20s and the 30s and below, number-wise, was enormous. Those assigned number 30 or below were enlightened, reaching dimensions beyond humanity, and they all had powers almost as strong as saints. And one of them was here now, Davis, who played a key role in the Bloody Shore incident. Davis's team had sealed away Blanc, that nightmarish primal demon, and now he was swooping in at Gaster's time of need. He and Blanc had a score to settle. Watching the knights act as one to subdue Testarossa, Gaster cheered internally, assuming he was saved. If he kept throwing mind requiem her way, he reasoned, even a spiritual life form couldn't last long. He had included physical creatures in his previous attack, but this time, he adjusted it so it only affected spirituals. That way, no matter how lofty an archdemon she was, it'd be impossible for her to maintain her existence. That's what he thought. But again, he was too naive. This strategy didn't take into account the fact that Testarossa was physically incarnated. It was meaningless to act only upon her mind, and his mind requiem had no hope of working. But even before that,
oh my goodness, what a fun trip down memory lane. These are the people who defeated me before, aren't they?
What?
This is so nice. I was so rudely interrupted last time that I wasn't able to eat a full meal back then. I had this wonderful meal set up for me, and just when I was set to dig in, that happened. Don't think I've forgotten about that.
Testarossa's voice, filled with malice, echoed across the area. Despite being blocked by the chain, she didn't sound even remotely concerned.
No, this evil presence.
Look at her. Is that Blanc, the original white?
It can't be. We made so much of an effort sealing her away, and she's back this quickly.
Testarossa laughed at how upset all 3 were. It was so wicked of her, yet so beautiful.
Ah, such lovely expressions on your faces. Fear, anxiety, and completely unfounded confidence. All you can do is pretend to yourselves, but you still haven't run away from me. You certainly do enjoy engaging in wasted efforts, don't you?
Shut up, demon.
We didn't expect you to come back, but don't forget, we've sealed you once already, remember? Boast about your victory after you beat us.
Davis is right. We're going to destroy you down to the soul this time.
This declaration was ridiculous to Testarossa.
You guys are so funny to me. Are you sure you should be that self-confident? You think the exact same technique is going to work on me a second time?
She asked the question as elegantly as could be, even as the Imperial suppression stance caught her in its grasp.
Quit being a sore loser. Nobody here's gonna listen to a demon's nonsense.
Well said, Gordon. There's no place for you in this world, demon. And if you couldn't get it through your head once, we'll bury you as many times as it takes.
Lieutenant General Gaster. Leave this scene to us, please. You and your troops should retreat.
Davis was calm from start to finish. The original White's appearance was unexpected, but he still hadn't forgotten his original purpose. He was attempting to defeat the wolf demon, the combined Gapta, Ranga. In order to achieve that, Davis intended to convince Gaster to withdraw his troops so Davis didn't blow his cover finishing that monster off. Not even Davis had the right to give orders to the higher-ranked Gaster. If worse came to worst, eliminating him from the picture entirely was a possibility. But with Blanc on the scene, now was no time for that. Davis had no hope of beating her while maintaining his cover. In fact, unless he got all the nearby troops out of here fast, they could all get caught up in this battle. Gaster, unaware of any of this, was suddenly spurred back into action. He was having trouble keeping up with this situation. Blanc? The original White? What are they talking about? Do they mean that archdemon? I can't think about that now. Enough thinking about who this trio is. I gotta survive this. Desperately slamming his brain into motion, he tried to come up with a solution. Then, in a panic, he used his unique skill performer to order his entire army to retreat. But it was too late. The moment he had encountered Testarossa, all hopes had already been dashed. Davis, Balt, and Gordon were three nameless heroes who had once defeated a powerful demon lord. The incident was known as the Bloody Shore, when Blanc, the dreaded original white who ruled over the demons of the East, came dangerously close to incarnating herself in this world. Ever since, the Empire's vigilance against demons had changed dramatically. Every city had its own demon control office now, and their summoning was banned by law. If an archdemon was ever to physically incarnate itself, it'd require mobilizing the army to deal with it either way. If not handled properly, it'd be a potentially city-wrecking disaster. Plus, this was a primal, a very special existence among archdemons. Their strength couldn't even be measured in terms of mere magicules. Ever since that incident, Davis believed it was sheer good fortune that let them defeat Blanc. But at the same time, he was confident that no matter how many times they staged that fight again, he'd never lose. Why? Because he was ranked 11th. Even the strongest champions of the outside world were no match for the truly powerful, those who had lived for over 1,000 years in the underworld. We're talking the magic-born Raisin, guardian of Pharmus, and the heroic King Gazel of the armed nation of Dwargon. Otherworlders like Yuki Kagarazaka and Hinata Sakaguchi wouldn't cut it. Neither would Thalion's Magus Corps or Ruberius's Crusaders. No matter their strength, they'd always be a mere blur before the Imperial Guardians. And even among this all-powerful group, the single digits held a special position. Davis, being ranked 11th, served as their assistant. His Majesty has given us this, the most powerful of gear. With our combined powers, there's no way a mere demon could defeat us. Davis was brimming with confidence. Once he urged Gaster to retreat, he turned to his companions.
Both of you, open it up. It looks like Blanc's incarnated herself, but she couldn't have stored up that many magicules yet. We'll hit her with all we got.
Right.
On it.
Gordon nodded. Balt smiled defiantly. As they acknowledged him, the pendants hanging from all three of their necks began to glow. The light soon became a torrent, enveloping their bodies, and what emerged from them were three warriors wearing golden full-plate mail. This was legend-class armor, only given to the chosen ones. Imperial Guardians generally preferred their choice of weapon, but their armor was generally all the same. This was impeccable quality, handed down from ancient times. No ordinary person could even catch a glimpse of them. And now that they had it on, Davis and his companions were able to fight with all their might.
Bad luck for you, Original White. Maybe you've gained a physical body, but that's where it ends. Meeting us here was the end of your good fortune.
To give him a better chance at finishing off Testarossa, Davis had put more strength into his grip on the chain. Then he noticed that there was no response from it. Testarossa, whom he had sealed up inside the chain, had slipped it off like a pair of pants.
Look, do you think I'm going to let you do that?
Davis turned toward the chilling voice. There he saw Testarossa, whose hand was on Gaster's neck. With a dull snap, the lieutenant general collapsed. He was dead, killed by the demon without putting up the slightest resistance. Davis instinctively shouted. Gaster might have been more than a little self-centered, but he was no weakling. He was a lieutenant general, and he had the ability to match. In fact, he had every right to join the Imperial Guardians' ranks. Probably just a far-flung number, yes, but even so, he wasn't the kind of man who'd go down that easy. That, and Davis shuddered as he looked at his hands. The chain of holy silver, monster hair threaded through it. This legend-class piece of gear had been battered to pieces. Confused frustration flashed across his face, as it did with Balt and Gordon. They had no idea when Testarossa had even moved, much less broken the chain. And the hardship didn't end there.
Oh, were you waiting for me? If so, I'm sorry. This man was trying to escape, so I had to give him a little punishment. If I didn't, that'd be disobeying Sir Rimura's orders. We can't have that, can we?
Testarossa shot the men a lustrous smile as she sized them up. Then something else occurred to him.
Ah, right. I've been wondering, would you three mind not calling me Blanc, or the Original White or whatnot?
What?
I mean, I've got a name now, it's Testarossa. I'd really hate it if you didn't use it, you see.
The statement was a peal of despair for Davis and his team.
Wait, a name? A name?
Testarossa. Some fool gave a primal a name.
First an incarnation, then a name.
This was unprecedented. Suddenly, their position wasn't looking so good after all.
We must retreat. This crisis must be brought to His Majesty's attention immediately.
Yeah, I hear ya. I'll hold her off.
And I'll set up a warp portal.
The trio's teamwork was beyond reproach. Quickly dividing work among themselves, they sprang into action, Gordon already casting the warp spell. Once they did, Testarossa let out an evil laugh, lovingly, beautifully, but with a truly sinister touch.
What's so funny?
Bolt shouted, taking up his spear and charging at her, but Testarossa had already disappeared. Bolt had no chance of keeping up with her.
Damn it, where the hell did you go?
Over here.
A hot breath blew into Bolt's ear, filling his nostrils with a sweet, fragrant scent. There was no need to turn around, it was Testarossa. Then he felt a cold, delicate female hand on his neck, almost chilling his soul. The image of the now limp Gaster flashed through his mind.
I hate it when people don't realize the limits of their abilities.
But it was questionable whether Testarossa's voice even reached Bolt. Crack. Bolt collapsed, a sobering look of terror on his face, and that was the end of the 38th ranked member of the Imperial Guardians. Davis, watching all this, experienced a feeling of panicked self-doubt that disturbed his thoughts for the first time in several hundred years.
Gordon, hurry up. She's killed Bolt. She's too dangerous.
His voice was colored with fear, regardless of his intentions. Gordon nodded silently, as if he understood. His teleportation magic now complete, the circle of magic floating above the ground began to glow.
Okay, retreat.
Davis sprinted toward the circle as he made the order, but the spell failed to activate.
What? Why?
Testarossa kindly explained it to Gordon, as if ridiculing him for being so upset.
I'm not sure what's so strange about that. I'm not using the magic canceller wrong, am I?
Davis and Gordon had no idea what she was talking about.
What? The magic canceller?
Wait, did you recreate it with magic?
She looked at them and let out an exasperated sigh. Testarossa had been sharing information with Ultima and Carrera via thought communication. Among the information she obtained that way was data on the magic cancellers installed on the airships. For Testarossa, recreating and using the technology from the data she obtained was child's play. But such an act was well beyond the scope of human common sense, and it'd be absurd to expect Davis and Gordon to understand it. All they did know was,
What? What are you? Whether you're a primal or not, there's no way an archdemon can have that much power.
Davis was shouting now, trying to paint over his own fears.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Sanketh Chelu, Minotaur, Chadvota, I Like Anime, Ray Perez, Chris Guzman, Havox, Speed Saber, James Waters, Arijit Das, Quilly Buckner, Curtis Loban, Darius King, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, John Charles, Godman Gaming, Akon Engok, Markithian Tidwell, Trevor Federkins, Andre L. Hamilton, Adrian, Sean Sinclair, Kumo, T-Bush, Chang, John L, Masiaj Besaraba, James, Tojam, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Gonsi Direco, Thomas, J, Christ, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khalid, John Wong, Mika Pekarinen, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, KCH 1999, Destiny Smith, Juice, Panda Cats, Aaron Alarcon, DeAndre Nance, Oz Hunter, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Divinay, Wise Viking, Ruben, Maria Vasquez Rodriguez, Luis Caro, Pedro Robles, Ono Morman, Jordan, Kamal Ebanks, Chris Duncan Jr., Isaac, Shadow Wolf 660, Koala King 93, Devon, RN Bart, Little 95, Coyote de Peza, This Is Not My Username, Zelda Gamer 819, Mizzle Bizzle, Zephyros, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, Jaya Keshav, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, Adrian, Marvin Emmerich, Alex Gomez, J Rule, Wenky Fu, Nate, Big Q, Sayonara, Blaine Trevino, Luis Hernandez, Jay Wright, Alfredo Renteria, Harshil Gabani, Lil Tier, Liron Sangkap, Eric Tass. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.